The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Blow up the neon light, Jimbo and Kyle take flight. 80s dreams on its delight. In the realm of black and white, movies and TV flow through the stories we all know. Silver screen tales unfold in the magic they bestow. The tragedy of cinema, when memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
I know I'd go from rags to riches.
To me, being a gangster was better than being president of the United States.
Never rat on your friends, and always keep your mouth shut.
It meant being somebody in the neighborhood that was full of nobodies.
Oh, you broke your cherry.
Hey, Mom, what do you think?
You look like a gangster.
By the time I grew up, there was $30 billion a year in cargo moving through Idlewild Airport, and believe me, we tried to steal every bit of it.
You might know who we are, but we know who you are. You understand?
Yeah.
What kind of people are these?
What do you do?
I'm in construction. If we wanted something, we just took it, and you didn't even think about it. To us, it was better than Citibank.
Nice.
It's great, but nice.
You got some nerve standing me up. Nobody does that to me. Who the hell do you think you are? Frankie Valli or some kind of big shot?
I was living in a fantasy.
Look at my eyes.
He's not Jewish.
For most of the guys, killings got to be accepted. Murder was the only way that everybody stayed in line.
What are we gonna do with him? We can't just dump him on the street.
Don't worry. I know a place up safe. They'll never find him.
You got out of line, you got whacked. Everybody knew the rules.
Hey, Henry, here's an arm.
Very funny, guys.
Here's a leg.
There's a wing. What do you like, the leg or the wing, Henry?
Okay, you ready?
Sometimes
For us, to live any other way was nuts. Anything I wanted was a phone call away. And we were treated like movie stars with muscle. We had it all just for the asking.
It's gonna be a good summer.
It was a glorious time.
In a world that's powered by violence, on the streets where the violent have power, a new generation carries on an old tradition.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Jimbo.
And I'm your co-host, Kyle.
Kyle, today we are doing a movie that I chose for once, a movie that follows the life and times and crimes of some gangsters. And one thing you will realize is, what's the number one rule of gangsters, Kyle?
Never rat on your friends.
You don't snitch.
You don't snitch. Yeah.
Snitches get stitches.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose Goodfellas from 1990.
That's right.
Kyle, before we get started, what would you say is your favorite mob movie, gangster movie?
Oh, this is it.
This?
Oh, yeah, this
Really?
is it. By leaps and bounds, this is the best mobster movie for sure. Yeah.
Better than Godfather?
Yeah, probably better than Godfather. I only slept through Godfather once, and I think
You
Godfather.
said you slept through the
No,
Godfather.
I know. I've only slept through Godfather once. Godfather was just so heavily manipulated by the actual mob to give them more friendly face than they actually had. I think. So I don't really care for that film that much actually. Like I understand, like it's a masterpiece. Like sure, whatever, it's a fine film, but I don't hold it in that high regard. Personally.
I think my personal favorite is probably Casino.
Casino's really good too.
It's really good.
Casino's up there for sure.
But yeah, this is up there as one of the top 100 movies of all time. I'll have to look up where it actually falls here in a second. So Kyle, let's go and take it away because there's a lot of information on this, and it's based on a true story. So.
Yes, the story of Henry Hill, the real life mobster, gangster, mafia man, wise guy. Anyways, the film Goodfellas, released on September 21st of 1990, following the story of Henry Hill and his life in the mafia, covering his relationships with his wife, Karen, and his mob partners, Jimmy Conway and Tommy DeVito. Directed by Martin Scorsese, written by Nicholas Pileggi for the book Wise Guy, and Martin Scorsese wrote the screenplay adaptation of that. Producer was Erwin Winkler. Cinematographer was Michael Ballhaus. Editors was James Quay and Thelma Schoonmaker. Casting director was Ellen Lewis, and production designer was Christy Zag. Budget for the film was $25 million in 1990, which for inflation that'd be about $60 million today. Opening weekend it brought in $6.4 million, just for inflation that'd be about $15.3 million today. And then gross worldwide it made $46.9 million, just for inflation that'd be about $112.6 million today. And just slightly more there for the gross worldwide. Oh, yeah, gross in U.S. Canada, then gross worldwide made about an extra $500,000 right there. Let's see here. Going to go on to the cast of the film here. We have the legendary Robert De Niro playing the role of James Conway. Robert De Niro needs no introduction. One of the actors, just like, if you've seen a monster film, you've seen Robert De Niro, basically. But also appeared in films such as Cape Fear in 1991, Taxi Driver in 1976, and maybe most recently in Killers of the Flower Moon in 2023.
Wasn't he also in Heat?
Yes, he was in Heat as well. yes. Many great films. Too many to list, truly. Next up we have...
The Parents.
And Meet the Fockers. Just give me an excuse to say that. Next up, we have Ray Liotta playing the role of Henry Hill. Ray Liotta was also in the film Narc in 2002 and Cocaine Bear in 2023, and many other great films as well. Next up, we have Joe Pesci playing the role of Tommy DeVito. Joe Pesci was also such films such as Raging Bull in 1980, with Robert De Niro. The Irishman, also with Robert De Niro. And the films Home Alone 1 and 2 in 1990 and 1992. Next up, we have Lorraine Bracco playing the role of Karen Hill. Lorraine Bracco was also the therapist character in The Sopranos from 1999 to 2007. And was also in the film Medicine Man in 1992.
Man, I haven't seen that movie in forever.
I don't think I've ever seen The Medicine Man. I think it was a...
Sean Connery.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen it. I probably own it, but I haven't seen it.
Imagine that.
Yep. Next up, we have Frank Servio playing the role of Frankie Carbone. Frank Servio was also in The Godfather Part 2 in 1974. Then we have Tony Darrow playing the role of Sonny Benz. Tony Darrow was also in the film Mighty Aphrodite in 1995. Then we have Mike Starr playing the role of Frenchie. Mike Starr was also in the film Ed Wood in 1994. Frank Vincent playing the role of Billy Batts. Frank Vincent was also in the show The Sopranos from 1999 to 2007. And he's also in the film Casino in 1995. Next up, we have Chuck Lowe playing Morris Kelser. Chuck Lowe was also in the film The Mission in 1986. Then we have Frank DeLeo playing Teddy Cesario. Frank DeLeo was also in the film Moonwalker in 1988, there we go. Got to pronounce his words right, Kyle. Henny Youngman, playing the character of Henny Youngman, was also in the film History of the World Part 1 in 1981. Then we have Gina Mastrogiacomo, playing the role of Janice Rossi. Jeannie was also in the film Naked Gun Part 2.5, The Smell of Fear in 1991. Then we have Catherine Scorsese, Martin Scorsese's real-life mother, playing the role of Tommy's mother. Catherine Scorsese was also in the film Cape Fear in 1991. Then we have Charles Scorsese, Martin Scorsese's real-life father. Real-life player. Charles Scorsese. Holla at your boy. Playing the role of Vinny. Charles Scorsese, also Martin Scorsese's real-life father, was also in the film Cape Fear in 1991. Then we have Suzanne Shepard playing the role of Karen's mother. Suzanne Shepard was also in the film Lolita in 1997. Debbie Mazur will play the role of Sandy. Debbie Mazur was also in the film Empire Records in 1985. Then we have Margot Winkler playing the role of Bella Kessler. Margot Winkler was also in the film The Net in 1985. Then we have Jerry Vale playing the role of Jerry Vale. He was also in the film Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps in the year 2000. Hercules. Yeah. Then we have Kevin Corrigan playing the role of Michael Hill. Kevin Corrigan was also in the film True Romance in 1998. Michael Imperiello playing the role of Spider. Michael Imperiello was also in The Sopranos from 1999 to 2007, one of the big actors of that show. Boy. I'm going to skip over a lot of this cast just because it's dense.
You can't pronounce.
Next up, we got Tony Sirico playing the role of Tony Stacks. Tony Sirico was also in the show with The Sopranos from 1999 and 2007. And he's also in the original Godfather in 1972. Then we have Joseph D'Onofrio playing the role of young Tommy. Joseph D'Onofrio was also in the film A Bronx Tale in 1993. And then we have Frank Adonis playing Anthony Stabile, playing the role of Frank Adonis playing the role of Anthony Stabile. Frank Adonis was also in the film Raging Bull in 1980. And let's see here. We're going to go quickly through the rest. Let's see. The one notable character you had, Tobin Bell's character, playing the parole officer.
From the great Saw franchise.
That's right, from the Saw franchise. The original series started in 2004 and is still ongoing today. And for all I know, they're still trying to bring him back somehow. Even after he's been dead 5 times, I think. But that's going to conclude the cast list there. There's many other actors playing many other roles, but that's just because they just threw a lot of names out at some points. A lot of characters are like, you have 2 seconds of screen time, but here's your full name because you're a real life person. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we're going to skip over that.
So now, if any of the mobsters are listening, please, Kyle Zahner, come get him.
I got no respect for the Italian Mafia.
Oh, no. I have to edit that out because that's the views of Kyle Zahner is not necessarily those of this podcast.
I mean, they're a bunch of criminals. What am I supposed to say? They did terrible things with the murder.
But they make great pasta sauce.
They make a great pizza. What can I say? But you know what? Then make pizza.
All right, Kyle, I have a question for you.
I have answers for you, Jimbo.
Okay, now, if I want the listener to vision this, Kyle is a mob boss.
The mob boss, yeah.
And Kyle, my question to you is, if you were a mob boss, what restaurant, storefront would you be? What would you serve? What would
Kyle's Big Meatballs. Get the biggest meatballs.
Meatballs as big as your head?
As big as your head. Big meatballs.
So you do like the Italian? You would do Italian? You wouldn't be like...
of course you got to do Italian.
Like Kyle Sauerkraut?
Sauerkraut?
You'd be the German mafia. The sauerkraut.
Got awesome sauce, got meatballs. Fun for all the kids and boys. Fun for all the kids and the boys and girls.
And I can see you holding like a Mr. Bigglesworth's cat. You know, one of the hairless cats.
Yeah, from like the James Bond movie. Yeah.
No, like Austin Powers. Yeah.
No, it was originally James Bond.
I know, but it's funnier in Austin Powers.
Okay, fine. It's funny when he lives with the fur and so he has a hairless cat. Austin Powers is a good film. Good film. All right. We're going to move on here to the very lengthy awards. So for the awards in this case, I've cut out all the nominations I could find and instead focus on just the wins itself. So we're going to focus on those and try and do that here. So for the 2011-2020 awards, weird thing to say there, we have a winning for Best Director and a win for Best Picture. We also have a win for Best Cinematography and Best Adapted Screenplay. For the 2004 Society of Camera Operators, we have a win for most historical shot. I'm guessing that's probably the shot where
they go to Copacabana where they do that continuous shot.
Yeah, that continuous shot, and that would be pretty good there. Or that one shot where they do the camera offset trick. Where Henry Hill is going to realize that he's going to be killed by Robert De Niro's character, and they do that force perspective thing that they kind of do there, where they draw the characters apart. Basically, pretty cool stuff they did there. I think it was the first time they did it in the movie, so it was kind of knew why that's a historical shot. Okay, moving on. To still the awards here. We have the Online Film and Television Association Awards, where it was added to the 1997 Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Now, moving on to the 1991 BAFTA Awards, we have a win for Best Screenplay Adaptation, a win for Best Costume Design. You put everyone in suits. What do you? What's the costume?
But not the women of the world.
Yeah,
they were like, these
coats.
women all dressed in like secondhand clothes.
Put a bunch of guys in suits. I don't know. Like how? I'm not doing it justice. I'm sure they put a lot of work in the costume design. Best Direction, Martin Scorsese. Best Editing, Thelma Schoonmaker. And Best Film. Next up for the 1991 Bodil Awards, we have a win for Best Non-European Film. Then for the 1991 Boston Society of Film Critic Awards, we have a win for Best Film, Best Supporting Actor, Joe Pesci, and Best Director, Martin Scorsese. Then for the 1991 Chicago Film Critics Association's Awards, we have a win for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, Joe Pesci, Best Supporting Actress to Lorraine Bracco, and Best Director to Martin Scorsese. Then for the 1991 Dallas Fort Worth Film Critics Association Awards, we have a win for Best Supporting Actor, Joe Pesci. Then for the 1991 Fotogramas de Plata Awards, we have an award for Best Foreign Film. Then in 1991, we have the National Society of Film Critics Awards, where we have a win for Best Film and Best Director. Moving on, we have the 1990 Kansas City Film Critics Awards, where we have a win for Best Film, Best Supporting Director, Best Supporting Actor to Joe Pesci, and Best Director to Martin Scorsese. Then for the 1990 Los Angeles Film Critics Association Awards, we have a win for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actress to Lorraine Bracco, and Best Supporting Actor to Joe Pesci, and Best Director to Martin Scorsese. Then for the 1990 National Board of Reviews USA Awards, we have an award for Top 10 Films and the Best Supporting Actor to Joe Pesci Award. That's the Joe Pesci Award now. Then for the 1990,
that the name of it?
No, it's not the Joe Pesci Award now. That'd be hilarious if it was.
Probably will
Next
be.
for the 1990 New York Film Critics Circle Awards, we have the award for Best Director, Martin Scorsese, Best Film, and Best Actor to Robert De Niro. Then finally for the 1990 Venice Film Festival Awards, we have a win for Film Critica Bastone Bianco Award for Martin Scorsese. I'm guessing that's the Director Award. And a win for Audience Award for Martin Scorsese. And we also have a win for Best Director for Martin Scorsese. Next up for technical details of the film. This film has a runtime of 145 minutes, so just over 2 hours long there. It's a longer film on that side. This is a color film. Aspect ratio is 1.85 by 1. The camera used were the Airfx 35 BL4S and the Zeiss Super Speed and Kook Veraltal lenses. That's covered technical details right there. And that's going to cover those details. Now we're ready to move on to some trivia. And boy, oh boy, we got a lot of it, Jimbo.
Oh, yeah, there is a lot of trivia. What people need to realize about this movie is, number one, it is rated R, obviously for murder, death, language, for sure. Anytime Joe Pesci's in a mob movie,
just nonstop cursing,
which leads me to my first trivia. But
it rhymes with Tucker.
Since there's so much, I'm going to do a page of notes, and Kyle's going to do a page of notes. We'll bounce back and forth like that.
Yeah.
By the way, this was number 92 out of 100. The latest top 100 movies I could see. I knew it was up there like at 70 something before, but this 10-year anniversary, when I looked up, it's now at 92 because of some other movies that have came out.
It's getting pushed back. Yeah.
Right. So as I said, the F word and all its derivatives are used 321 times in this movie, which is an average of 2.04 per minute. And Joe Pesci says about half of them. Okay, so, but the script called for the word to only be used around 70 times, but much of the dialogue was improvised during shooting, and the explicitives piled up. At the time of the film's release, it had the most profanity of any movie in history. As of 2020, it's number 15. Kyle, what is another film directed by Martin Scorsese is up to number 3? Do you know what it is?
Oh, I believe it'd be The Wolf of Wall Street.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Right.
You are correct.
Yes, I was.
What do you think number 1 is?
Number 1, I
have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't
no
have
idea.
it. Why don't you look that up?
I'll look it up.
I can't believe we're looking up how many times the F word's used. I thought Scarface would be up there, but I don't know.
Oh, I can see Scarface being up there.
So I'll keep going while Kyle's looking that up. So this film, it's told from Henry Hill's perspective. It portrays him as a larger-than-life crime boss, being a major player. But, real-time gangsters of that era said that Hill was just only a minor figure, and he was more of a hanger-on like most of the other guys who took part in the Lufthansa heist. Did I say that right? Lufthansa heist? Apart from Jimmy Burke, who was an important mafia associate.
Yeah. According to Wikipedia over here, there's a movie called SwearNet the Movie, which uses the F word a count of 935 times. And there's another movie that just has the title that is literally just the F word that uses the movie 857 times. And then finally, The Wolf of Wall Street comes in at third at 569 times.
What else is on that list, Kyle? Go ahead and finish.
We got Uncut Gems at number 4 at 560. The Outpost in 2019 which comes to 445. Summer of Sam came out in 1999. Uses the F word 435 times. Nail by Mouth is number 7. It came out in 1997. We used the word 428 times. Anaro comes in number 8, comes out just last year. It uses the F word 423 times. Then we have Casino, which came out in 1995, uses the F word 422 times. And then the film Alpha Dog, which came out in 2006, uses it 420 times. Nice. And then 11 is Straight Outta Compton, which came out in 2015 and uses the word 392 times.
Is Scarface even on there?
I'm not seeing Scarface on here. I'm trying to find where... how many times did you say it was used again in this film, Goodfellas?
321 times.
321 times. That puts it right between 17 and 16, although it's not actually listed between End of Watch and State Property in 2002, because State Property used that 321 times as well. Yeah. So this film doesn't...
Is Scarface even on there at all?
I don't see Scarface on here at all, but it might just overlap with another
like,
film.
It could have been like this, where they just left it off, too.
Yeah, or it could have been another movie has the exact same count. Could be that kind of scenario. Yeah.
All right. So after Joe Pesci's mother saw this film, she told him the movie was good, but then asked him if he had to curse so much.
That's great.
He probably said, F I do.
Sorry.
I wonder if he has in his contract clause, like,
I can say as much as I want.
Well, not only that, but I get paid so much if I can slip in there.
Like $2,000 per F word from something crazy like that.
Highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Exactly.
The long tracking shot in the Copa took 7 takes. 1 take was ruined because Henry Youngman forgot his lines. That would be terrible. You get all the way to the end and, what's my line? According to Elena Douglas, Scorsese was inspired by the long steady cam shot in The Untouchables. According to Henry Hill, whose life was the basis for the book and film, Joe Pesci's portrayal of Tommy DeSimone was 90 to 99% accurate, with one notable exception. The real Tommy was massively built. You know what I want to see? I don't know why this just popped in my head. I would have loved to see Joe Pesci and Danny DeVito.
Oh, playing brothers, something like that. Yeah,
a comedy. It doesn't even have to be comedy. It'd be great.
It would have been great. Still would be. Who am I kidding?
Yeah. Bobby Vinton was played by his son Robbie Vinton, who lip synced his father's recordings.
Yeah. Gotta get Danny DeVito on an episode of, get a Joe Pesci on an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia or something like that.
Yeah.
Just for a one-time thing. Be funny, be great. Okay. Ray Liotta had said on a documentary special that his first-person narration for the film was often done by actually saying his narration to another person in the room. That way it felt more authentic and made it easier for him to tell the story.
Oh, so he was actually talking to somebody else?
Yeah, he was always looking at someone, talking to them, and just, explaining his story that way. So that's why he has a little more of an authentic line saver. I wonder if Lorraine Bracco did the same thing, possibly. I don't know. I didn't find that in notes.
Yeah, so anybody that hasn't seen this movie, it basically shows something, but there's narration of that actor going over the top. of the scene. So it does it with him. It does it with Lauren
Bracco. Yeah.
But is those the only two that do it?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yep.
which plays Henry Hill and his wife, right?
Yep, Henry Hill and his wife. Yep. In the film shows Karen Hill visiting Henry Hill in the prison visitor area. In reality, Karen visited Henry numerous times on the outskirts of the prison grounds. Henry worked as a farmhand on the grounds. They even had a picnic together one night where she brought him rare meats and wine.
Huh? They're allowed to do that?
They did. They did.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, were they allowed to? I don't know.
It was a farmhand, but I mean, was it between the fence, or did they let her in to go out to the grounds?
I'm going to say they probably let her in.
Because of this power.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's a power play for sure. Probably more than likely.
Especially those guys that got the federal pen. They're eating better than me and you. They're getting like fresh lobster shipped in.
Oh yeah. And he said
steak.
And even Scorsese was saying like, we're not exaggerating. This is stuff that happened, and they were paying the guards some like I think $2,500 a week back in the probably the 70s. I imagine
it was 50s to 80s is when this 55 to 80 I think was when
so I think all this was the 70s when that occurred. Yep. So next up, Roger Ebert calls this the best mob movie ever. And I gotta say, I probably agree with him. Included among the American Film Institute's 1998 list of top 100 greatest American movies. This was the first film from the 1990s to be inducted into the National Film Registry. Tom Cruise, Nicolas Cage, Sean Penn, Alec Baldwin, and John Travolta were all considered for the role of Henry Hill. Could you have seen any of those actors playing that role?
Have Henry?
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, obviously, I think he would have been all right.
Nicolas Cage?
No, I see him playing...
maybe when he was doing the cocaine scenes. Sean Penn, especially for the cocaine scenes. But that's just a little too real at that point.
No, I could see Nicolas Cage playing the guy that was hanging in the meat truck. Mm-hmm. I see him playing him. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin could do it. He killed too many people. John Travolta.
Art imitates life. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. John Travolta. I'm not sure either. I think he's.
What was that mob movie he was in? Get Shorty? Was that it?
I think it was. I think it wasn't really bad too.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I remember it bombed like horribly. Yeah. I think John Travolta and Tom Cruise had the problem. They don't look worn down enough. Like Ray Liotta looks like he got beat up like 100 times, but also is still handsome somehow.
Because he got beat up by a cocaine bear.
Exactly. He got beat up by the cocaine bear. Yeah. Next up, Joseph D'Onofrio plays the young version of Tommy DeVito and not Joe Pesci, while Robert De Niro plays James Conway in all of his vital stages because Conway is older than DeVito. Pesci is 6 months older than De Niro. John Pesci, Susan Hayward, Elia Parsons, Charlize Theron, and Forrest Whitaker are the only actors to win an Academy Award for portraying real-life killers. Hayward portrayed Barbara Graham in All I Want to Live. Parsons portrayed Blanche Barrow in An Accomplice to Murder in Bonnie and Clyde. Charlize Theron portrayed a serial killer Eileen Wuornos in Monster. And Whitaker portrayed dictator Idi Amin in The Last King of Scotland. According to the U.S. Attorney Edward McDonald, who plays himself in the film, one important real-life detail was left out of the scene of him sitting in the office when Henry and Karen Hill discussing entering the witness protection session. Waiting just outside the office were two of Henry's mistresses, whom he also wanted to be brought along into the program. So not just him and his wife and his kids, but also his two mistresses he wanted to have into witness protection program.
Something that just hit me, Kyle. You just said that Joe Pesci was 6 months older than De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
You start to think, we just looked up, Pesci is 81 years old, and pretty soon we're going to start losing some of these Hollywood icons. We've already lost some, but I mean, the next wave is probably going to hurt a lot. You know what I mean? The next 10 years, 15 years, it's going to take a lot of great actors.
It's a constant process, unfortunately, of life and death. But we're definitely going to see waves of like a lot of these people that we consider legendary actors from the 90s, from like the 70s all the way through now basically, and there's some slowly passing away in order, and it's going to be really sad.
Well, for me, it started with Sean Connery, but I really liked him.
For me, it started with Robin Williams, but
well, that was later.
Yeah. Well, still less than a decade ago. I think he passed away in like 20.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
So, all right, here we go. While driving to and from the set, Ray Liotta listened to cassettes of interviews that Nicholas Pileggi did with Henry Hill. Liotta noted that Hill casually discussed murders and other crimes while eating potato chips. It's like Kyle. You just
hearing that in a recording. Oh my gosh, the crunch.
Yeah, so
anyway, we killed this guy.
We took a hammer to his eyeball. Can you imagine just being a crime lord and just talking about murder like it's what you're having for dinner today?
Yeah, just casually as can be.
Yeah, but it's probably like people that have like golf stories. Yeah, but you should have seen what I did over on 4th Street. You know?
Just another day in the life. For me, it was a Tuesday.
The dinner scene with Tommy's mother, portrayed by Scorsese's mother, was almost completely improvised, including Tommy asking his mother if he could borrow her butcher's knife and Jimmy's hoof comments. It's got some funny scenes in it.
Yeah, this is a funny movie.
This was voted number 1 in Total Film's 100 Greatest Movies of All Time in November 2005. In The Real Goodfellas, I'm guessing it's a documentary, which aired in the UK, Henry Hill claimed that Robert De Niro would phone him 7 to 8 times a day to discuss certain things about Jimmy's character, such as how Jimmy would hold a cigarette. I mean, he was wanting to get into that. You don't want to make the mob mad.
As accurate as possible.
At first, producer Irwin Winkler disagreed with Martin Scorsese cast Ray Liotta as Henry Hill. One night, Liotta approached Winkler in a restaurant and asked for a minute alone. They walked into the bar area, and Liotta took a bottle and bashed it over his head. No, I'm kidding. Liotta told Winkler why he thought he was good. Liotta told him why he thought he was good for the role. Winkler called Scorsese the next day and told him to go ahead. So I don't know what was said, don't know what happened, but he convinced him.
Impressive.
During one of the final scenes, Henry Hill opens his front door and picks up a newspaper. Close inspection reveals that the newspaper is the Youngstown Vindicator. Martin Scorsese included it as an homage to Youngstown, Ohio, which has been called Mobtown, USA.
Because that's where they drop off all the people in the protection program, probably. More than likely.
Or it's run by the mob cop. The line, as far back as I could remember, I've always wanted to be a gangster, was voted as number 20 in the 100 Greatest Movie Lines by Premiere in 2007. Also, the movie line, how am I funny? Which that scene right there.
That's been referenced like dozens of times.
I love that scene. He ends up shooting the guy in the foot. Dance for me.
Yes.
Oh, no, that's not that
was a different scene.
Pesci is just unhinged in this movie, and it's hilarious. But that was voted as number 87, Greatest Movie Lines by Premiere in 2007. We already talked about that. This was the 92 Greatest Movie of All Time, USA Movie of All Time. This is ranked number 2 on the American Film Institute's list of 10 greatest films in the genre gangster in June 2008. Al Pacino was offered the role of James Conway. Man, I wish he would have been in this.
That would have been
but instead, he turned it down to fears of typecasting. But wait, it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
The exact same year, Pacino ended up playing an even more stereotypical typed gangster, Big Boy Caprice and Dick Tracy. He admits regretting this decision.
That's funny. That's very funny. Win some, lose some, right?
I don't be stereo.
Will Smith said no to the Matrix too.
He says, I don't want to be cast. He gets Big Boy Caprice. I do love Dick Tracy.
Matt Damon said no to Avatar. Stuff like that.
I do love Dick Tracy, though. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta turned down the part of Harvey Dent in Batman in order to make this movie. Joe Pesci's Oscar acceptance speech is the 6th shortest in the Academy's history.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
He said, quote, "It's my privilege. Thank you." End quote. Pesci later admitted that he didn't say very much because he generally felt like he didn't have a chance of winning. Patty Duke said thank you in 1963 when she won Best Actress in Supporting Role for The Miracle Worker.
That's great. That's hilarious. All right. When Henry Hill closes the door to his house at the end, the sound resembles the sound of a prison cell being closed, implying normal life is the prison for Henry Hill.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. The Lufthansa heist remained an unsolved mystery until 2014. Wow. Most of the members of the crew were still alive and were elderly, or arrested.
How much fear do you think he lived in the rest of his life?
Oh my gosh! I gotta think, like, for the first year is constant fear. Just constant fear after that. And then it's like a subtle reminder every few months, maybe they might finally get me. I think that's probably the haunting thing that goes in your life.
Well, because, who knows if the mobsters paid off the guys that are watching you. You'd have to, Kyle, you're going to have to eat my food before I do to make sure it's not poisoned.
Oh, something like that. Yeah, crazy stuff like that. That's, ridiculous. Goodfellas shares 27 actors with HBO's television hit The Sopranos. 27 actors.
I've never watched this film. I've only watched a couple episodes.
It's a great show. Maybe the best show to this day still. This film is the official this film is in the official top 250 narrative feature films on Letterboxd. Scorsese simplified the Air France robbery by creating an inside man. In reality, the chief of security was required to keep the key on him at all times, including at home. The criminal set up the man with an escort who took the key from the man's pocket during one of their regular trysts, and the key was copied and returned without the man finding out at all. So that's how they got the key for the actual heist in the reality, which would have made a pretty cool subplot for the film, but it was already 2 hours long, so you probably got to just trim it down.
I wonder if there's like a director's cut or...
I don't think they filmed in that case. I think this was like written into the script to trim it down, so I don't think they ever filmed it. Tobin Bell, now famous for playing the killer Jigsaw in the Saw franchise, has a 1 second of screen time as Jimmy Conway's parole officer, which he mentioned a little bit earlier. 1 second.
Doesn't even have dialogue, Kyle.
Yeah. No, he does have dialogue. Actually, he says, "I hope you brought your."
That's longer than 1 second.
Well, yeah, but you said he had no dialogue. He has some dialogue. He has one line.
But then he'd be on the screen longer than a second.
No, he hasn't. I pull up on YouTube later and show you, but it's about a second.
Oh, about a second.
About a second. Just under 2, probably. In the scene where Karen believes Jimmy is going to have her whacked, when she jumps into the car and quickly reverses the drive away, the fake period license plate falls off the brown station wagon parked in front of her car, revealing the modern, at the time of filming, white license plate on the car. So that fell off in the scene, which you just, unless you're looking for it, you don't catch it. Mm-hmm. When Henry and Karen first go on a double date with Tommy, as the scene progresses, Tommy's date appearance seems to degrade with each following shot.
According to Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro and Tina Sinatra put a fake severed horse head in his trailer, obviously paying homage to The Godfather as an initiation into Mafia films. The MPAA ordered 10 frames of blood removed from the film before granting it an R rating.
Oh, wow. 10 frames.
10 frames.
Less than a half a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird. How bloody
was it?
Was
going to give it an X? I don't know. Tony Darrow worked in the real-life Bamboo Lounge where Henry Hill and the people on whom the film's characters are based would hang out. The later life of Henry Hill after he enters the Witness Protection Program was also adapted more humorously into
My Blue
Heaven the same year, which Kyle has requested we do. It'll probably not be the next episode, but the episode after that. Appropriately, that film was written by Nora Ephron, who was Nicholas Pileggi's wife. Ephron reported witnessed so many phone conversations that Pileggi had with Hill for his book Wise Guy, which he would later adapt into a screenplay, that it inspired her to write a screenplay of her own. Although Hill loved Goodfellas, he allegedly wasn't happy with My Blue Heaven.
Yes, because it depends on him as a blubbering buffoon, basically. Which is pretty funny. And probably more accurate to the real-life Henry Hill.
Martin Scorsese reportedly didn't want Ray Liotta to have contact with the real Henry Hill before filming, because he had never directed Liotta before and didn't want Hill to influence him. You know, Kyle, every time we sit down to record, we either have a cricket, a siren, or now we have a bird chirping outside my window. So if you guys hear that, I'm sorry. It is like 11 degrees outside here. Snow is still on the ground piled up. And I have a bird chirping right outside my window.
Go south. What are you doing?
Why are you here?
Yeah.
So, okay, back to Goodfellas. According to Ray Liotta, on the special edition DVD, Sean Penn was also considered for Henry Hill. Kyle?
Who?
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Henry Hill. Yeah.
I don't think I answered that. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it wasn't too far-fetched. Is that what you said?
Well, I specifically for the cocaine scenes.
Every one of Robert De Niro's outfits had a watch and a pinky ring to go with it, Kyle.
Oh, wow.
I'm getting you a pinky ring.
Yeah, if you can pull it off, that's great, right? I couldn't imagine. Couldn't imagine trying to pull off a pinky ring. Then you drink your
tea with your...
Yeah. I couldn't imagine wearing a pinky ring and no one's like, what are you wearing?
It's my pinky ring.
Yeah, can't own that.
According to Nicholas Pileggi, some mobsters were hired as extras to lend authenticity to scenes. The mobsters gave Warner Brothers fake social security numbers, and no one knows how they received their paychecks.
That's great.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Ray Liotta's mother died of cancer during filming.
Yeah.
Liotta says that he used his anger over losing his mother for certain scenes, including the pistol whipping scene in particular.
Oh, wow.
You can see him really taking it out on that.
Oh, yeah, he really was.
Yeah. Lorraine Bracco demanded that real jewelry be used for Karen's dresser. The production designer rented expensive gold and jewels that were protected by armed guards. Here you go. Robert De Niro wanted to use real money for the scenes where Jimmy hands out money because he didn't want the way he didn't like the way fake money felt in his hands. Yeah. The prop master gave De Niro $5,000 of his own money. At the end of each take, no one was allowed to leave the set until all the money was returned and counted.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
According to Debbie Mazar, when her character trips after meeting Henry, it was actually Mazar tripping over the camera dolly track. Martin Scorsese liked it because it looked like she was overwhelmed by Henry and left it in the film.
Nice. All right. When Val Kilmer was so eager to win the role of Henry Hill that he made an audition tape short film to convince Martin Scorsese to cast him. The role ultimately went to Ray Liotta instead, but clips of the short film can be seen in the 2021 Val Kilmer documentary titled Val.
Man, I bet that would have been great too.
Those some cool shots, and I bet Val would have.
He would have been awesome.
He would have been great as well. Ray Liotta owned this role, but Val Kilmer would have done a great job, I'm sure. Co-stars Ray Liotta and Paul Sorvino passed away just 1 day shy of 2 months apart in 2022. So unfortunate passing right there. Yeah.
Oh, Ray Liotta.
Yeah, Ray Liotta. Yeah, Ray Liotta's passed away 3 years ago. I also had the exact same note from My Blue Heaven being Goodfellas is now the unofficial prequel to My Blue Heaven in reality. So wait, Goodfellas is a prequel. Based on the novel Wise Guy, the film needed a different title to avoid confusion with the late 80s television series Wise Guy. Although it is not indicated in the film, in 1960s, Henry spent 3 years in the Army, where he carried out a range of various criminal activities before being kicked out.
Imagine that. Wow.
In 2022 dollars, the money stolen in the Air France robbery comes to approximately $3.8 million. The money stolen in the Lufthansa robbery equates to approximately $24.5 million. Wow. Holy schmackles.
You would think at a certain point they'd be like, okay, we got enough money, we don't have to do this anymore.
We're all retired. Yeah.
But I think they got too far into it that what they say, absolute power corrupts and whatever that saying is.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Yeah. Power corrupts absolutely power corrupts, something like that. Yeah.
Nailed it.
It says a lot that I don't know it. But also it was the only life they knew how to live, and at the same time they're also like these are the kind of guys who don't think anything about spending $5,000 a night on a nightclub and having a lot of fun doing that stuff. So they were.
And his wife's like, "Hey, I want to go shopping." He's like, "How much do you need?" She's like, "About this much." He pulls out a wad.
Yeah. So you got to think like,
buy you something nice.
Yeah, for as much money that is, they'd blow through it really fast. I'm sure if they actually got their hands on it and kept it going like that. So
and I think something that I finally realized this. I think this is my second time watching it. Is you never really thought about the children, that it was affecting his children, because you see that scene where they're fighting and screaming, and he walks away, and the daughter's just standing there, she just doesn't know what's going on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was a really touching moment.
It's tough. Like and easy to speculate. Henry Hill was probably a terrible father. The same thing with Karen Hill, possibly. Just the fact that just like he clearly fought a lot in front of their kids and was very traumatic. Obviously,
it would be interesting to talk to one of their daughters and see.
I don't know. I've never been a fan of reopening old wounds like that, but
well, no, I'm just saying, you know, if she's wrote a book or anything, or they've wrote a book or anything,
sharing their kind of story, being like, you know, it was like being the kid of a mob boss, you know, not a mob boss, but you know, still being part of the mafia like that.
Dickie Roberts can make a movie about being a childhood movie star, remember that movie?
Oh yeah. Yep. Henry Hill's 10-year prison term was for extortion and the beating of a man to collect a large gambling debt. The shakedown of the film was for this specific incident. He was released after serving only 4 years, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
The painting that Joe Pesci's character's mother brings out was actually painted by wise guy author Nicholas Pileggi's mother. Let's see here. We already talked about it. This is Siskel and Ebert's favorite movie of 1990. According to Martin Scorsese, Marlon Brando tried to persuade him not to make this film. I wonder if that's an ego thing because I did The Godfather. I did the best.
Yeah, probably something like that.
While directing his mother, Catherine Scorsese didn't tell her that her character's son had just killed someone and the body was in the trunk of his car. He only told her that her son was home for dinner and to cook for them.
That's great. The movie's famous pan-out shot of Jimmy and Henry in the diner, in the moments after Henry realizes that Jimmy's unprecedented request for Henry to go to Florida to kill a mob target would have resulted in his own death, came about from Martin Scorsese working with the director of photography, Michael Ballhaus, to zoom in on both actors, where Scorsese locked his own camera's position into place. Late in the film, that was that one note there. So that was how they accomplished that famous pan-out shot, which they then replicated in several other films. Late in the film, Henry Hill says that he never voted and never paid taxes. The latter element was actually not standard practice for mafia associates during this time. A mobster would have a legitimate sounding job that mainly existed on paper, so they would pay a small amount of taxes through it and also receive above-board health insurance. This would prevent the IRS from making larger fraud cases against any mobsters, since it was only record of them such transactions and was way above board in its way. So that was, you know, have like a fake paper job that you never actually go to, and then you just pay cash, pay for everything else in your life. Yeah, that way you can also get health insurance. So makes sense.
I had a question right there, but it just went somewhere. I lost it.
It went on a train and it went away, and now it's on a farm.
It was a really interesting question, but
great.
If it comes back to me, I'll think about it.
You'll yell at me. You're good.
Robert De Niro was so obsessed with authenticity that during the infamous dinner scene, he asked how the real Jimmy would apply his ketchup. This eventually got passed to Henry Hill, who informed De Niro.
I like the way he does it. You see, he kind of like spins the rotating bottle so it kind of exits that way. Kind of creates a little vortex so you get more ketchup out faster. You can't do it for like plastic bottles now, though.
Heinz comes to those who wait.
Yeah.
Tootie Cicero, Paulie's brother, walked with a limp because of his prosthetic leg. He lost the real one in the Korean War. In the DVD commentary, Henry Hill said that he still had nightmares about when he, Tommy, and Jimmy murdered Billy Batts.
Yeah.
So I guess Henry Hill did DVD commentary?
I guess there must be some kind of DVD commentary you can find somewhere.
Oh, I know what my question was. Mm-hmm. The scene where his wife goes to Jimmy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I got something for you. Just go down here. And she's walking down the street and goes to that alleyway and looks. He's like, no, down a little bit further. And she looks, and there's those guys moving TVs or something. Mm-hmm. Was he going to kill her there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Totally.
I just wanted to make sure.
He was going to kill everybody. Yeah.
Well, he killed everybody pretty much.
He did. Yeah. So he was going to...
Which is crazy. I mean, because he killed everybody.
Yeah.
Because what, do you think they were going to turn on him or something?
In for a penny, in for a pound. It's simultaneously agreed and a no loop strings kind of thing. Whereas, like, the more people you kill, then the less chance you actually will ever get caught. And the more people you kill, the greater your share becomes. So eventually, Ray Liotta's character, Henry, became a risk factor because he was doing drugs constantly. And he also just got caught by the police selling drugs. It means he was likely to go to jail for a long time and possibly become an informant for the mafia, informant against the mafia.
Which he did.
Which he later did. So Jimmy, by his motivations, he was absolutely doing what he should have done in that moment. He was trying to kill, Henry and his wife to get rid of them off the board. And that way he could get away with his crimes and still be a multi-millionaire gangster till his dying day.
Henry Hill was paid roughly $550,000 for the film. Hill considered it chump change compared to the $15,000 to $40,000 a week he made during his gangster days. He claims he blew almost all of his mob money on partying and a degenerate gambling problem. The "How am I funny" scene is based on something that actually happened to Joe Pesci. While working in a restaurant, a young Pesci apparently told a mobster that he was funny, a compliment that was met with less than enthusiastic response. Pesci relayed the thing to Martin Scorsese, who decided to include it in the film. Scorsese didn't include the scene in the shooting script so that Pesci and Ray Liotta's interactions would elicit genuinely surprised reactions from the supporting cast.
It was really good, too. Yeah, iconic scene.
In October 2014, Frank Silvero filed a $250 million lawsuit against The Simpsons for using his looks and mannerisms to create a little-seen Springfield mob associate named Louie. According to Silvero, the writers lived next door to him in Sherman Oaks in 1989. Louie debuted on the show in Bart the Murderer. As of 2017, he has appeared in 21 episodes.
21? Oh, I thought
that was in 2017, though.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, probably pretty more characters, yeah.
Henry Hill's testimony against some of the most powerful Lucchese crime family associates led to over 50 convictions. As Hill learned at the very beginning of his career, Mafia rule number 1 is never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut. In 2010, he told The Telegraph, "It's surreal, totally surreal to be here. I never thought I'd reach this wonderful age." He theorized that he hadn't been murdered because there's nobody from my era alive.
To murder him, yeah.
Hey, I got to give it to him. They had him hid for a long time.
Yeah, they did.
According to Irwin Winkler, Tom Cruise was discussed for the role of Henry Hill. According to the producer Barbara DeFina, Madonna was in the mix to the extent that Martin Scorsese scouted her at a performance of David Mamet's Speed the Plow on Broadway.
Oh, wow.
Madonna, yeah. Ray Liotta was 35 during filming. Henry Hill was 21 when he started dating Karen in the film. During one take, while filming the scene in which Karen points a gun in Henry's face, Ray Liotta threw Lauren Bracco off the bed, and the gun flew out of Bracco's hand and hit director of photography Michael Bauhaus in the head.
Ow. Probably hurt you. Even for a fake gun, I'm sure they're probably, ow. Okay, in the movie, it shows teenage Henry Hill in 1959 being arrested for selling stolen bootleg cigarettes with Jimmy Conway. But in reality, he was arrested for attempting to buy tires with a stolen credit card.
Really?
Yeah, that was actually how he got arrested the first time. Not selling cigarettes. While filming the scene in which the character is killed by Joe Pesci and Michael Willie, while filming the scene in which his character is killed by Joe Pesci, Michael Imperlo broke a glass in his hand and had to be rushed to the emergency room. When doctors saw what appeared to be a gunshot wound in his chest, they tried to treat it. While Imperoli told them what was really up, they made him wait for 3 hours.
Oh.
Martin Scorsese told Imperoli that someday he'd be telling that story on The Tonight Show of Jay Leno. This prediction came true in March of 2000.
Oh, wow.
When Henry and Karen Hill are negotiating to enter Witness Production Program, former U.S. Attorney Edward McDonald plays himself, reenacting what he did in reality. So that was the real FBI agent right there.
Really?
Yes, that was the real guy.
That's cool.
Yep. Martin Scorsese's mother, Catherine, played Tommy's mother. She and the cast ad-libbed the dinner scene. Scorsese's father, on the other hand, Charles, played Vinny the prisoner who put too many onions in the tomato sauce and later murdered Tommy. Jimmy Burke, on whom Jimmy Conway was based, would have been eligible for parole in 2004. Unfortunately, he died of lung cancer in 1996 while still in prison.
Oh,
yeah,
so close.
Unfortunately,
I was like, oh, that's so sad.
He's a multi-murderer. After the premiere, Henry Hill went around and revealed his true identity. In response, the government kicked him out of his federal witness protection program.
Whoops.
That's my page.
Martin Scorsese is a big fan of the Copacabana. He went there on his prom night.
Funny.
Ray Liotta joked that Warner Brothers would have rather cast Eddie Murphy than him because of how little known he was.
That's such a studio note. Could you get a... Oh my gosh. Oh, that version of the film is so bad. Nothing wrong against Eddie Murphy, but, you know. Nicholas Pileggi talked to Henry Hill constantly while writing the script with Martin Scorsese. He says the voiceovers are the key to the movie and that they are almost exact quotes from Hill. Oh, wow.
Ray Liotta has said Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci were the glitter and I was the glue. The long tracking shot through the Copacabana nightclub came about because the filmmakers couldn't get permission to go in the short way, forcing them to go around the back. Martin Scorsese decided to film the sequence in one unbroken shot in order to symbolize that Henry's entire life was ahead of him. Quote, it's his seduction of her, Karen, and it's also the lifestyle seducing him. The sequence was shot 8 times.
Oh, wow. 8 times?
That's a long walk,
that's
too.
a long day. That's
pretty cool, though.
That's a really long day of shooting.
To research a role, Lauren Bracco tried to get close to a mob wife. She was unable to because they exist in a very tight-knit community. The cast didn't meet Henry Hill until a few weeks before film premiered. Ray Liotta met him in an undisclosed city. Hill had seen the film and told the actors that he loved it. Martin Scorsese wanted to use Frank Sinatra's version of My Way at the end, but Sinatra would not allow Scorsese to acquire the rights to his version of the song, which is terrible. That would have been great. He had to use the version by Sid Vicious instead. It just doesn't hit right. It doesn't hit the same. According to Edward MacDonald, in the last courtroom scene, the actor was going to portray the judge was white. However, when Martin Scorsese found out that the real trial judge was black, he decided to cast a black man, partly for accuracy, partly because of criticism for portraying black people in a negative way in his films.
Yeah.
Kyle, that's the end of my notes. You got a couple more?
I got a couple. Yeah, I got a few more actually. So we're good to go. As he enters the witness as Henry enters the witness protection program,
Wendy's protection
program, we have the meats and the witnesses.
That's Arby's.
Yeah, the witness protection
Where's
program.
the beef?
Henry Hill requests not to be sent to a cold place. In the final scene, Henry picks up in Youngstown Vindicator, a local newspaper for Youngstown, Ohio, which gets very cold in the winter.
True.
Yeah. Henry Hill doesn't kill a single person in the movie. That might be accurate in real life. That might not be accurate in real life, since Hill said on the Howard Stern show that he killed 3 people for the mob, and that he was free to talk about it because he had immunity.
Ain't that crazy?
Henry Hill explained to a fan on the Howard Stern show in March of 2003 that neither he nor Jimmy Burke, his last name was changed to Conway in the film, were executed along with Tommy Desmond for the murders of Billy Batts, because both Hill and Burke were huge moneymakers for the mob. And was here. Henry Hill actually passed away in 2012 at the age of 69 after a long history of heart disease. Congestive heart failure was the reason listed for his cause of death. The reason why the mob was against drug trafficking was because such crime carried heavy sentences, which could lead to perpetrators become informants, as this is exactly what happened with Henry Hill. Henry Hill was removed from the witness protection program from the early 1990s due to a conviction for drug trafficking in 2004. He was also arrested when airport security found drug paraphernalia in his suitcase. So not just the reason for him basically outing his own identity in 1990, but also because he kept doing drugs.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll do it.
That'll get you kicked out as well. Continue to do crime, they won't protect you.
Right. All right, Kyle. Give me your thoughts, feelings, ratings.
This is one of the best films ever made. Not my favorite film of all time, but it's one of those things where just like it could just probably be anyone's favorite film of all time, or in the top 10 or somewhere around there. I don't know if it makes my personal top 10, but it's like one of the best Scorsese films ever made, and just one of the best films, period. Roger Ebert, I think, is right to call it the best mobster film ever made, and I fully endorse it on that level. And it's a fantastic film. Ray Liotta puts in a once-in-a-lifetime kind of performance in his role. Robert De Niro does a great job as well. Joe Pesci does an amazing job. This is a great film from start to finish. It feels real. It does, it does echo a lot of what really happened to Henry Hill in his life. And is absolutely an amazing movie in many respects. So I love the film overall. I think it's great. I fully recommend everyone watch just Martin Scorsese's work in general. If you like films, you should watch Martin Scorsese because he makes great films. But also watch this film specifically because it's just one of the best ones out there. Like you can't appreciate film until you've seen one of these films, in my opinion. So I appreciate it on that level. I think it's just like it's a mandatory viewing for film watchers, basically. If you're the right age for it, of course, don't watch it if you're a kid. That'd be inappropriate. But if you're an adult, you should be up. You should be up for watching Goodfellas. It's one of the best films ever made. So I appreciate it on that level. I love it to death. Jimbo, how do you feel about it?
What are you rating it?
Oh, what did I rate it? This film, it's a 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 film. I wouldn't change anything about it.
Nothing?
No, I wouldn't change anything about
Nothing. You wouldn't want more blood?
No.
There will be blood.
No, it's exactly what it should be. It shouldn't be anything more or less. I think it's it's pretty much kind of perfect movie in many respects. I wouldn't change anything for the risk of making it worse.
Well, you shouldn't change anything because it's coming straight from the horse's mouth, most of it.
Well, yeah, coming straight from the horse's mouth, but also just, Or like put it like yeah, but like the only things that change would also possibly just make the film worse overall as an enjoyable viewing experience. I don't necessarily actually believe a lot of the truth of it. I believe Henry Hill, the real life guy, was telling his truth as he saw it, but also that guy was a criminal himself and
trying to make himself look better than
no education, all those kind of things as well. So it's like one of those things where just like, yeah, he's going to portray himself as the hero in the story, one way or the other, So that's what he did. So in terms of the authenticity of it, I'm not going to say like, oh, this film is totally accurate to exactly what happened in his real life. Like, no, probably not. But it is accurate in like the sense of vibe and security of the film. The tone of the film itself is being set pretty darn well. And I think Scorsese captured that in a way that no other director could. So, yeah, I wouldn't change anything about the film on that level. So that's where I'm at. 10 out of 10 film. Jimbo, what do you feel about it? You hate it.
No, I like mob movies in general. I think Robert De Niro is one of the greatest actors of all time. It doesn't matter what he's in. His presence on the screen is just commanding. You have to pay attention to him no matter what even if it's just the smallest of scene. That scene at the end where he sits down at the table and he starts talking to him and he says, Ray Liotta's character says, Henry Hill, he sees like, hey, I got there 15 minutes before and said he was already there. Because he was like... Yeah,
he's like saying this was like immediate red flag kind of thing. It's
so
amazing.
He knew that he's like, I need you to go do this job down in Florida. He's like, he never asked me to go do this job down in Florida. He's like, I knew this would be the last time. If I win, I would die. Ray Liotta did a really good job too. And I think a lot of this movie, why it's so good, is a lot of the background characters make it a good movie. So, you have all the different mobsters, where they're talking about like Timmy Two Nose or Two Tails and the guy that was Know-It-Alls and all that. I think it's a good movie. To me, I'm not going to say it's a 10. I just think that there's some stuff that could have been cut out or maybe added, which I'd love to see some of that stuff. For me, I'm probably going to give it a 9 out of a 10. I do think you should watch it at least once. But just bear in mind that anytime you watch a mob movie, there's always going to be the cursing is just goes above and beyond sometimes. Do you need it 321 times a movie? No.
318 maybe.
Joe Pesci probably put 150 in them himself. Yeah, ad-libbed them in there. But yeah, so that's where I stand on it. It's a good movie. I can see why it's definitely one of the top mob movies of all time, and even just a movie in general, the top 100 of all time. So you think this mob movie was good? Wait till next week. Boy, talk about two different ends of the spectrum.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
So there was a movie that Kyle picked. Well, actually, I think we both came to an agreement.
This was actually recommended by a friend of mine, Kaylee.
Was it? So, yeah. Well, Kaylee, thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah.
So you'll have to tell her we're doing it. But it is A Fish Called Wanda. Now, I went into this movie blind. I had no idea what it was. All I remember is seeing Jamie Lee Curtis in it back in the day on the poster stuff. And I said, man, this looks just like a weird... Why is A Fish Called
Wanda?
Weird
is right.
But you'll see next week when we release the episode, A Fish Called Wanda. It was my first time watching it. Kyle, yours?
Yep, my first time as well.
So we'll dive into it next week.
Fish Called Wanda, Cherry's Broken.
And we'll see how that goes. But with that being said, I think this episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.
The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer, join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer, join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. Those we love the most. tragedy of cinema. When memory